My name is Dr. Dominic Brandy. I am president and founder of Natural Insights into Cancer. And what we're going to discuss today is a common myth that soy causes breast cancer. I've devoted about 3 pages on this topic in my book, Beat Back Cancer Naturally. So I think it's a very, very important topic to discuss. One of the reasons that soy has gotten this reputation is that it is classified as a phytoestrogen. Now, phyto means plant. Estrogen obviously means estrogen. But what we need to understand is that your breast cell basically has 2 types of cancer receptors. Has your alpha receptor when the estrogen attaches to it. It stimulates cancer growth. You have a beta receptor when the estrogen attaches to it. It inhibits cancer growth. Now, what we do know is that genistein and didzane, which are the 2 primary phytonutrients in soy, have a 1,600% greater affinity for the beta receptor in the cancer cell. That's amazing. And it also completely shuts down the alpha receptor, which is the cancer-promoting receptor, much like the anti-cancer drug tamoxifen. We also know that these phytonutrients get into the fat cell, and they actually inhibit aromatase, which is an enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen. That's one of the reasons why people that are overweight have a higher incidence of breast cancer. The more fat you have, the more aromatase you have, and the more aromatase you have, the more estrogen you have. The more estrogen you have, the more cancer you have. So it's important for you to make sure you keep those fat cells down and keep your weight ideal. If you go through the scientific literature, since 1996, every single article shows that soy prevents cancer. If you have cancer, it significantly reduces mortality. If you look at this study from the Asian Pacific Journal of Cancer Prevention, these patients drank 1 cup of soy every day for 5 years, and they had a 38% reduction in mortality compared to the group that did not. As I said, if you look at every study since 1996, every single one of them shows that soy has an anti-breast cancer effect. And anybody that tells you the opposite is not keeping up on the scientific literature, because it's explicit that soy has a cancer protective effect. The other thing that soy does is it has an anti-angiogenesis effect. Cancer cannot grow and metastasize if it stays 0.5 millimeters or less. When it's that size, it pretty much gets its nutrients through what's called osmosis. But those cancer cells do release growth factors that stimulate blood vessels to come in and feed the cancer. Once that happens, these cancer cells can get into the bloodstream and then metastasize. If you look at this chart, you can see that as long as it's 0.5 millimeters or less, it pretty much stays very small and doesn't grow. But once it gets beyond that and the angiogenesis starts, these tumors can go crazy. This just kind of gives you an idea. This is electron microscope photo of angiogenesis. You can see the blood vessels are very disorganized, kind of scary to be honest with you. This is another one. You can see how the blood vessels are just growing like totally out of control. Dr. Lee, who wrote a great book called Eat to Beat Disease, has devoted a lot of his life to angiogenesis, and his group developed this tool that evaluates angiogenesis. If you look at the circle, all the white area around it, that depicts angiogenesis. So what they did is they applied different extracts and drugs to the tool, and they see how they affect angiogenesis. Now, genistein, which is one of the primary phytonutrients that we talked about before, was applied to this tool, and you can see it almost completely eliminated angiogenesis. If you look at this slide, this depicts different compounds and drugs, their anti-angiogenesis effect. This is from Dr. Lee's work. The shorter the bar, the more potent the effect. Good idea to take a screenshot of this. and study it. You can see soy's in there, garlic is in there, cruciferous vegetables, turmeric, lavender. So study it because it's extremely, extremely interesting. Bottom line is you should really try to incorporate some soy every day in your daily routine. I use it for my coffee. It really is amazing in coffee. It's very creamy, has a lot of protein, has a little bit of fiber in it, a lot of phytonutrients. You can also get it in edamame. A lot of people use tofu. Also, fermented soy is tempeh, which you can kind of sprinkle in your salads, or you can use it in different recipes. So make sure you really do incorporate this. I hope you learned something today, and have a great day.